Welcome back as we get ready for our final singles match of the day. It is our women's bronze medal match between Shelby Bates and Maria Klokotzky. Klokotzky, 37 years old, originally from Estonia. Bates, 33 years old, from Jupiter, Florida. And fellas, we saw the power of Klokotzky on display in her semifinal. It's a very heavy ball. Bates struggled a little bit with Jana Newell. Who do you give the advantage to in this matchup?
Well, we were talking to Shelby Bates before, and, she's talking about, the heaviness and how that's hit from Klokotzky. And we're like, Jana hits a heavy ball, but Klokotzky's is even heavier, right? So, again, it's going to be the adjustment that Bates can make. She struggled a little bit with the pressure of Jana Newell. My biggest thing here is do what Amanda Hendry did, right? Get to the kitchen line first before Klokotzky does. If she can do that, that being Shelby Bates, she's got a fighter's chance here. We'll see if she does get to the kitchen line, though, because she does come up, but she gets a little hesitant. If she hesitates, Klokotzky's going to put her on her heels.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's going to be difficult for Bates to go baseline game with Klokotzky. And we saw that when Klokotzky came forward against Hendry, she was able to really apply that pressure and put it on. So I would almost tell Klokotzky here to be like, hey, go big with your approach, come forward, and just keep the pressure on Bates. You don't have to overhit, but you can't ease up.
15 seconds.
Bates looking for her first medal of the 2024 season, picked up a pair of bronze last year in doubles, took home a silver in 2022. Should Klokotzky win, it would be her first APP career medal. And the first point goes to Klokotzky off of the missed return.
Well, I'd rather have that mistake from Bates deep than anything kind of short and mishitting. Got to keep Klokotzky back, or else when she's approaching like this right now, it's going to be trouble.
Well, short return right there. It sets up the approach perfectly for Klokotzky, and Bates was like, I don't even have a chance on that ball.
Missed forehand from Klokotzky gets Bates on the board.
Well, right as we say we don't want Bates going baseline to baseline with Klokotzky, she does, and she comes out on top of that one.
1-2.
Sprays the backhand long.
Again, sorry, Dorian. It's that approach again. We talked about it earlier, is that approach by Bates overhitting. You're creating that momentum coming in.
More extended rally, but the same result. Point Klokotzky.
4-1.
Miss serve.
Momentary lapse in concentration right there for Klokotzky.
Oh, Bates came forward, got a put-away ball, and pushed it wide.
Well, she got jammed up. I don't think she thought that ball was going to come right at her body, and again, didn't move. Kind of got stagnant on her feet, and he gets jammed up as the ball's right at her face.
Nice deep ball there from Klokotzky, but you can kind of sense that the intensity isn't as high here in the bronze medal, especially for Maria Klokotzky, as it was in the semifinal.
There's a good put away for Bates. How does Bates take advantage of that lapsed intensity?
Well, she has to pick up her intensity.
Yeah, both of them need to right now. And again, I thought that was great point construction there from Bates. Bates going to the right sideline of Klokotzky and keeping her moving completely sideways. It set up that point.
A missed return gets Bates back within two.
That was a much better job there with a big serve, creates the shorter return, and then Bates stays nice and short and compact on that backhand.
3-point run for Bates. Ball just skimming the net.
Just that little clip of the tape right there just causes the ball to change direction, change spin, and it just makes it a little bit more difficult there for Bates to react.
7-5.
Oh, she
Klokotzky.
hesitated.
Yep, second guessed herself.
So here's my thing, is neither one of these players high intensity right now,
No.
right? Who's going to be the first one to say, I'm going to be the one to pick it up and take control of this bronze medal match? Someone has to, right? Like, you got to pick that up. You got to see that. You got to feel that. And just come in and be like, if I pick up my intensity, give me the next 25, 30 minutes. Let me pick my intensity up, and then I can win this.
A smart decision by Klokotzky to go behind Bates. And you're talking about who's going to be the first as a player. How do you re-engage yourself? Because it's easy to say,
Well,
but it can be way more difficult to do.
Yeah, you have to force yourself, like Klokotzky did right there. She gets a shorter ball. She comes up, gets the feet moving. If you just stay in this,
Nice backhand roll.
if you just stay in this easy baseline, like, hit the ball back and forth kind of thing, it's more difficult to pick that intensity up. So hopefully right there, Klokotzky with an excellent two-hand backhand passing shot right there, gets those feet moving, puts a little bit more, puts a little bit more pressure on, and then Bates, the same. When you feel your opponent pick up the intensity, you have to pick up the intensity too.
Bates still within 1, 8-9 here in game one of our women's singles bronze medal match. So, call overturned. Klokotzky called it out. That's the second time in the last two matches that's happened to Klokotzky. So 9-all. Nice softening there from Bates on the volley.
Well, better body position, better footwork. Takes that volley nice and early.
A Bates player, much like Chris Hayworth, has spent a lot of time in this season working on her fitness, working on her movement around the court. Gets the winner there.
She had none of those volleys against Jana Newell earlier. She was long, wide. Now all of a sudden she's got that wrist nice and stiff right there and just sticks that volley both on that one and the one before.
Bates told me back in Miami in March this is the best she'd ever felt in her body and the way that she was moving. Nice deep ball there. Klokotzky puts it in the net, and Bates has opened up a 3-point lead.
And quietly. Like,
Klokotzky calling a timeout.
and you have Bates going to the sideline, 3-point lead here. Needs to just kind of continue to do what she's doing. She's sticking these volleys. She's getting to the kitchen line when she needs to. Great approach shots. She's got Klokotzky moving to her forehand side really wide, and that's set up a couple of these points in the last three to take this 3-point lead.
You asked who the first person was going to be to raise their intensity. We saw glimpses of it from Klokotzky, but would you say right now that player is Bates over the last handful of points?
Yeah, it's not an intensity. It's almost a focus from Bates right now, right? So she's kind of focused and dialed in of what she wanted to do, and she's executed to perfection the last 3 points to get this 3-point lead.
I think there's an argument to call that a quiet intensity.
Yeah.
Back to play, Bates leading 12-9. Missed return.
Yeah, that's the ball that we saw Klokotzky miss when she was playing Hendry in that semifinal. It's the ball that's mid-shin off of not a big aggressive serve.
Oh, Bates couldn't get it over the net.
Yeah, and she got flat-footed. Now she tries to bend and hit her way out of this, but she got flat-footed. Ball ate her up a little bit.
And 13.
Good pressure there. Good approach shot there from Klokotzky as well. Big serve created the shorter return.
So Klokotzky pulls back within 2. And I was going to go back to that overturned point because Bates had gone on a 5-0 run since then. And now Klokotzky has answered with a 3-point run of her own.
I'm calling a timeout immediately if I'm Bates here. Because again, that little run here, not a little run, big run here from Klokotzky to get back in this. Now within 1, chance to tie it.
3 straight points.
Oh,
Miss hit the lob
yeah.
off of the edge guard, and she's gifted Bates a game point.
Rushed it a little bit again on the approach shot from Bates.
So Bates frozen at 14. Klokotzky will be on serve 13-14.
13-14.
Bates pulls the return wide. We're tied at 14.
I mean, who wants it here? Who wants it? Does anybody? Give me some intensity here. Someone's got to step up here because, again, still kind of flat on both sides.
Oh, nice stick volley from Bates. And she'll have game point number 2.
And there was finally a little bit from Bates as she gets up to the kitchen line, sticks that forehand volley. It'll give her another opportunity to take game 1.
15-14.
Yeah,
Nice
good setup.
backhand there from Klokotzky.
Yeah, it's a good setup right there. She takes that forehand down the line, kind of outstretches Bates. I have a feeling we're potentially going to keep going back and forth. Right
Battle
now.
of attrition.
50-50.
This will be a 22-20. Ooh, just wide.
Bates wide on the forehand, and now it's Klokotzky with a game point.
Oh, big
Forehand
passing
winner
shot.
down the line. Klokotzky fights off a 3-point deficit to take game number 1. Is 17-15 in our women's singles bronze medal match. We'll have game number 2 coming up here at the Al APP Newport Beach Open.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour.
16 years from today, Greg Gerstner will finally land the perfect cannonball. Unsuspecting friends? Check. Epic water displacement? Big check. A work of art that's only possible because Greg is already meeting all these same people at AARP volunteer and community events. They'll keep Greg active, involved, and mischievous, and help make sure his happiness lives as long as he does. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
To be clear, Fulfill is a protein bar, not a candy bar. Don't let its creamy, chocolatey goodness confuse you, or the fact that you hide them from anyone with a sweet tooth.
You saw nothing.
I saw nothing.
Fulfill. We swear it's a protein bar.
The APP is sponsored by Aura Organic, rooted in science, powered by nature. Yola, for the champion in you. And Roots Farm Fresh, the cleanest, crispiest fries you'll try. Welcome back to Championship Court. Maria Klokotzky took game number 1 of our women's singles bronze medal match, 17-15. Shelby Bates had a pair of game points, could not close it out. She's on serve to start game number 2.
Yeah, nice angle there on the overhead. Doesn't try to overhit it, just creates that wide angle.
1-0.
Oh,
Couple of nice forehands here from Klokotzky.
Well, I don't think Bates thought that was coming over. Kind of stabbed at it late, but like 2 big serves from Bates in the first 2 points. Trying to go for it there a little bit.
Missed third from Klokotzky.
2.
spinning.
Nicely constructed by Bates. Better approach ball as well.
Yeah, again, nice job there. But as Chad said it, as the ball hit the ground, he's like spinning. Klokotzky had a lot of spin on that ball getting over the net. Bates made a good adjustment.
Too much on the forehand.
It almost clipped her foot.
Bates got, yeah. I mean, if that ball lands in, there's no shot that she's hitting any shot coming out of it. But that ball almost landed on her foot. Got a little stuck there. But the intensity's picked up
100%
for Bates. She's coming out. She's moving the feet a lot better, putting a lot more pressure on.
Klokotzky taking a timeout early here in game number 2, trailing by 4. We've talked extensively about the intensity throughout the course of this match. Bates picking it up a little bit. You're talking about the footwork. Where else have you noticed that intensity creep in over the first 6 points?
Well, right now you're seeing, Shelby Bates going for her serve. She's ripping the serve. She's not holding anything back. The third shot, she's driving. Her return, she's hitting hard. So, like you said, Dorian, intensity doesn't always come from being vocal or being loud. It can come from your game, and we're seeing it immediately to start game 2. Bates is like, I'm going to rip this, and I'm gonna get what I get, and I'm going to see if I can, kind of finish it this way. And so far, so good with a 5-1 lead.
It's similar to what we saw from Foster in game number 3 of the men's singles bronze medal match. Decided to go for that big serve out of the end change. Paid dividends.
Oh, nice
great get.
There's Shelby right there. The fist in the air, straight up. That's patent right there.
That ball is very easy to shank, though.
Oh gosh, we have the whole court.
Wide
You
open
and I
court.
to hit that.
I've done it before.
That sounds like someone who's speaking from experience.
Put an exclamation point on it. Be like, this ball's never coming back. So that's again on the backhand side for Bates. She's shading that forehand. So now when Klokotzky goes down the line, she's late on it and stabbing at it. She needs to sit a little bit more neutral.
A missed return.
Trying to really get into that one. Ball takes a little funny bounce near the baseline.
3-6. Oh, the
nice volley.
footwork from Klokotzky throughout that point was great.
Yeah, it was a good setup there. She didn't rush through that shot. She stayed nice and low, stayed underneath the ball with the paddle head. Very easy to come up and push that ball deep. Oh, very nice forehand approach shot there.
Klokotzky has worked herself back within 1. Trailed by 5 early on. Has now ripped off 4 straight points.
5-6.
Stick volley pushed wide at 6-all.
Yeah,
Go
just
ahead.
got a little loose right there with
Yeah,
the wrist, right?
and in game 1, we saw some really nice, clean volleys from Bates. And this one, she lays the paddle back, tries to go a little bit firmer.
Oh.
Ooh.
A good ball from Klokotzky as she takes the lead.
Yeah, again, Bates with a good get. Ball almost hit her. She gets it back up and over and tries to flip this lob back up and just get back into play. You watch her approach right there. She stepped in to go wide to try and get that. She just got to go wide and deep, try and cut that angle off.
It's like a drop step. Missed return.
Well, that one Bates flattened out a little bit more, and you saw her hand come inside the ball, and she just slapped it. Sailed on her just a little bit. Had the movement that she wanted, but tougher to keep that ball inside the baseline.
Oh, great get from Bates.
Oh.
Smart decision from Klokotzky. Medium speed backhand roll as she is on an 8-0 run.
Well, yeah, talk about runs. Again, Bates started off strong, had a 5-point lead, and now all of a sudden Klokotzky's got a 3-point lead. Definitely a game of runs here in the second game.
Timeout taken by Bates. What's been the biggest difference over this 8-point run?
Well, Klokotzky's now putting a little bit more pressure on. She's getting Bates on the run and then choosing that good approach shot. But I think the biggest difference is you look at Klokotzky's volleys compared to the couple of volleys that we've seen from Bates as of late. Klokotzky's taking that ball early, and now she's creating another angle. She's not overhitting. She's not trying to do too much with it. She's just getting Bates to scramble. Bates, on the couple of missed volleys that she had, when she had the lead and she had the open court, she went for too much, tried to put that exclamation point on it, and then it's a very difficult mental situation when you're in that. You've got an easy winner, and you miss it wide. So easy to just fall down the rabbit hole and be like, oh my gosh, how can I miss that?
Right. We talk about that short-term memory in pickleball because points happen so fast.
Yeah.
You got to let that go immediately and get on to the next point.
Klokotzky on serve, leading 9-6. She took game 1, 17-15. Forehand on the run, just wide, and the run continues for Klokotzky. Oh, what a forehand cross court.
Well, and that's the ball that you don't want to give Klokotzky right there. You see the depth of it, and she just gets the paddle face outside the ball, accelerates through, and it gives it the shape and the angle that she needs.
It's a 5-point lead for Klokotzky, looking for her first career medal on the APP Tour. Missed return.
You want to talk about a full swing, right? Bates had a 5-point lead in this game. Klokotzky's got a 6-point lead now. Talk about swings right there. That is absolutely incredible.
11-point run.
Way to dial in by Klokotzky.
Wow.
Forehand line winner. That has been her shot throughout this match.
Yeah, and that wasn't there early on because that was a ball Bates that early really put pressure on Klokotzky, and she didn't hit really well. And now all of a sudden she's dialed in with that.
Multiple winners in this game for Klokotzky has given her a 7-point cushion. Missed backhand makes it match point. Missed return, and Klokotzky ends the game on a 14-point run as she takes the bronze medal in straight games over Shelby Bates.
Well, I mean, that's a great job by Klokotzky, figuring it out because Bates looked to be cruising and forcing a third game. But, again, nice job by Klokotzky to end it there and take her first medal.
Yeah, and Klokotzky looked like she was flat. It came out in game two after you win game one, and then the intensity's low. She just needed to get down by 5 to be like, hey, let's go.
A little kick in the butt.